There we go. Ah. ¿Cómo se va?
Cardy.
Yeah, there you go. Here, come a little bit closer. You got it. Now, you realize why you seen the... Yuji, come on here. See, I got the dog here. Yuji, where are you? Okay, you're here, right? Okay, you be a good boy. You keep an eye on this. And I have a stick here. So what's going to happen is this. See, don't you like this new form of journalism?
Very cool.
If you say too much bullshit, the dog will bark. And if there's really too much bullshit, I'll have to, we have to.
Got the stick.
Yeah, no, we don't believe in violence, but, I got to knock some sense.
Yep, zero violence.
We got to knock some sense into you. Okay, now, I came here last week. I was all prepared. And next thing you know, you stood me up. So.
I did. I figured you didn't want me barfing on you.
Yeah, barfing, and then that's another thing that we're going to talk about. You got a pen on you? See, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared at all.
One sec.
It's all right. It's all right. No. A minute. Oh, I just walked the bridges.
Oh, how's the new bridge?
Oh,
The fixed bridge.
yeah. Me and the dog just walked, and then I forgot. I said, oh my God, I got an appointment with the minister. And then you're here. By the way, how old are you?
What's that?
How old are you?
49.
49. Do you know what a redhead is?
Biologically,
You know what a redhead is?
well, I know you've got concerns about redheads, but
I'm terrified of people with red hair. This is the first time we ever sit down side by side like this. Usually in the barber. Okay, stop it. Usually in a barber shop, but not here. A redhead. Do you know their temper?
I don't have a temper. I'm constantly.
What kind of redhead are you?
I'm always relaxed. I never cause any problems.
Lower Brown. You know her?
Yeah.
You stood her up there 2 weeks ago.
Because I didn't want to barf on her either.
Yeah, exactly. You see, I seen her
Yeah,
outside.
I have a consistent non-barfing policy.
She was very, very angry. She had the red head, the face. That scared me. Holy Jesus. But anyway, Fox Barbershop said you need a haircut.
I do. I'm going tomorrow.
Going tomorrow? Where's that? Fox Barbershop on Queen Street.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. He's pretty good. You being a redhead, you're set in your own ways. Did you get... Did you get the flu shot?
I did.
Huh?
I did.
You did, and you still got the flu.
Yeah, well, that often happens. You often get a less serious version of it, which I don't even know if it was actually the flu, but it felt like it. So you get it, but less the serious. The symptoms are a lot less, so I just felt mildly bad for a couple of days rather than knocked out for... Yeah, I don't know, you probably talked to people who've got the flu this winter, and it's taking them down for 2 weeks. So
I knew you talked to a lot of people. The flu shot is to protect yourself from others.
And it helps to protect the vulnerable people around you, right? Like
Yeah.
I've got pretty bad asthma, and so if people around me don't get protected, it increases the chances I'll get sick, and if I get sick, I get pneumonia. And
So you have no reason to cut off this interview.
all good. I got my puffer in my bag too. So we're all set.
If it's an emergency, no
We're set.
problem. And you know what? I haven't smoked in 7 years, and I use less of that.
Well, your lungs should be 7 years. Your lungs should be pretty much back to normal. They had something.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I was reading this weekend about how initially they figured when you stopped that your lungs would sort of recover, but now it looks like right down at the cellular level, even if you smoked for a long time, some cells survive undamaged, and over 7 years they'll pretty much repopulate your lungs. So 7 years you should be in good shape.
Don't you love these non-editing videos? It was the last time I was here. Madeleine Dubé.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah, she's often
Bernard Lord time.
off doing her thing at UDM now.
What's she doing?
She's the vice-rector at Université de Moncton à Edmundston.
The University of Mountain are very lucky to have a woman like that. Very, very, very nice.
Yeah, she's
Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I never listened to no news. I never educated myself at all on this issue. What do you want to do with the classroom?
Classrooms, mainly, I want to try and give the teachers more control back, because since you and I were in school when we all lined up,
Can I do that no more?
we all rolled.
Can I do that no more?
What? Hit people not well, except for in a lot of the classrooms, we end up with having kids who are really badly behaved, and the whole class reacts to them. That the teachers have got no control because they don't have the
How
power.
would the whole class react to them now?
React to the teachers?
No, react to them. That's a kid that's out of control.
Well, what happens now? Let's say you get one kid who's out of control, and this often gets blamed on inclusion, and I don't think it is inclusion, but anyway. you get a kid who behaves badly, that because some folks in the system think that the inclusion policy means that you can't punish a child for behaving badly. Let's say I behave badly.
You're a redhead, of course
exactly.
you do.
So everyone in the classroom has to leave the class except me. So I get to stay even though I'm the one who originally caused the problem. So you have, in some cases, classrooms that are being evacuated a couple of times a day, many times a week. In some cases, whole schools are being
You
evacuated.
mean I'm ADHD, I'm sick and tired of this class or this subject, and then trust me, I have ADHD and nobody knew in those days.
Right.
A town fool, whatever. There was no such thing as Asperger's and bipolar. There was nothing.
Yeah, it was class clown, kid
Class
wouldn't work
clown,
out,
and I
yep.
could take care of myself, thank God for that. And I
Yep.
didn't turn to alcohol and drugs. But I'm in the class, I'm out of control. I want to get the hell out of the class.
Yep,
I'm out of control.
yep. And
So
suddenly
then the whole class leaves and they keep me in a classroom?
yeah, everyone reacts to you. So if you think about the sort of weird message we're sending, that you're taking a kid just at the point when they're learning about how society works, and you're telling them that in exchange for them behaving badly, they will suffer no bad consequences, and that everyone around them will react to what they're doing without any consequence. Of course they're going to keep doing that. I mean, that's the most natural thing in the world for any person to want to, if they feel they can control their environment like that. I don't blame the kids for taking advantage of the situation, but it's again why we've got to be clear about giving control back to teachers and classrooms.
Okay.
Teachers have got to be able to handle this stuff on their own.
Can't touch them. That's the problem.
Yeah, which,
The humans is the worst. This animal here behaves better than a lot of humans.
sure. Yep.
You got to give that a good boot up the arse once in a while. You got to, because if he was the boss, he would have been dead a long time ago.
Yep.
He would have run in front of a car or whatever. I'm the boss. That's why I tell him. But the kid's the animal in the classroom.
Well, that's sort of the
You
weird
get,
thing.
oh, I get it. Prescription drugs.
Well, right, and we end up by falling back on that. You just dope all the kids into sitting there quietly and staring into space, which is also no way to go. So, not that some kids don't
Okay.
need some medication. But
We're jumping here. It's all right. How long do I have anyway?
that's a good question. Hang on.
Is it the time limit here?
I think I got another 15, 20 minutes.
Oh my God, we gotta go. I
hang on.
can't let you go on there.
Let me, I'll tell you one sec. Quarter after, I've got another meeting. Yep. Got 14 minutes. Talk fast.
I'll see you on the street anyway. Okay, so the bottom line, new classroom.
Yep.
How would that treat people that's autistic, ADHD, and do
talking-
they stay on the whole from there's no grade 1, grade 2, grade 3?
Yeah, most of the time they're all, so you have the kids in the same classrooms and they learn with different groups of kids. They move the groups around so that if we're in a classroom, especially the younger years where you don't have it divided up, it's not like subjects that you take in high school.
1, 2, 3,
So-
4.
Yeah, so you're working a little bit on reading. Let's say you're reading way ahead of me. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to keep on reading even further ahead. If you're at what we say grade 1, again, who cares about what year you were born or produced, really, right? It doesn't really matter. We weren't born in the same year. We talk just fine. You take a kid who's doing well, let them race ahead. And if the kid's having more problems, work with them until they've mastered the material. It's not like it's rocket science. It's what teachers are always trying to do. But we have the entire system set up around this weirdly artificial idea that somehow based on the year you're born, you
Christmas.
should move ahead.
Okay.
Right? It doesn't make any sense, right? But the problem with school is that it was invented 150 years ago for an industrial era when everyone was trained to go and work in factories. So think about how similar a school is to a factory. You walk in, you sign in, you show you're there, bells go off for shift change, you sit in rows, the teacher stands at the front, gives you the training, you absorb the material, and you're supposed to just learn it.
Okay, so I got to look at this because I wasted too much time on these selfies. Okay, that's my fault. I'm guilty. I could see you in the barber chair. Oh, what time are we going there tomorrow?
Or morning 9, I think, probably.
9 o'clock. We'll be there 9 o'clock. We could continue this. Trust me, I would do. You wouldn't mind.
Well, I think at this point we have to do it just because I think Bob now just thinks it's weird that every time I turn up, you turn up. So
Yeah,
if we
exactly.
actually start playing it
That
in
was
advance,
funny.
he'll get even madder.
Okay, vaccine. Give me a quick update. Is everything? Everybody?
Well, good Lord, I think the stories around the world the last few months around vaccines with the huge measles outbreak that's the worst in 10 years, tens of thousands of people dying from measles. I think the arguments for that bill are pretty clear at this point, especially with the anti-vaccine groups that are out there, and I think everyone now gets a sense of how totally crazy they are. So it's going to come back for second and third reading in March, and we'll get her done, I hope. I think that there's more support now than there was before from the other parties, and I'm optimistic that we'll get it passed, get it done.
You're a redhead. What kind of threats are you talking about? Is it like Ross Whitmore in the Union, the grip saying, "Oh, he touched me. I gotta go to court."
No, it's
What kind of threat did you get?
It's people threatening.
Are you married? Or what? It's not important. But do you have any kids?
No.
So you said your family.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, my sister is a family doctor, and she made what was probably the mistake of
saying that that was your brother.
chiming in. Yeah, and my ex Margot. She did this. I mean, various people who are close to me who have, and anyone who's defended me publicly in this have been called.
What kind of threat?
I've had, straight up death threats. Or just
What?
What's some of the good ones? My favorite was someone said that they were going to stick vaccines in my eyes until I died. I thought that was a good one. Something along those lines.
Vaccine
they were
in your eyes till you die. What kind of goddamn dope are they smoking anyway?
It's clearly better than the stuff you can get at Cannabis NB.
How many threats did you get? What else? Anything else?
How many? I don't know. I mean, quite a lot, but I don't.
You don't pay attention to that.
I do not care.
You can't live in fear.
No, and I think part of your job, it's one of those things that's difficult. And I had some people after I talked about that with the journalist saying, don't you have a responsibility to report it? And it's like, I think that someone, if a teacher is getting threats, if a parent's getting threats, if a member of the public's been getting threats, absolutely call the cops. Do not tolerate people threatening you. But if you're in a leadership position, part of the job is to take arrows from crazy people.
I get threats all the time. Then suddenly I call them idiots, coward, jerkface. I already told you that. And I said, listen, no problem. Come on, meet with me over coffee. We'll discuss your issue. If I'm in a good mood, I'll let you do the video with you to discuss your concern. And if I'm in a really good mood, I'll let you take a swing at me, and then we'll go to the next step. But you can't defend yourself these days against these. Okay, Charlie, focus.
But I told you. So my take on it is the only way that part of the problem, I think, the reason why we have some of these anti-vaccination groups that are just saying stuff that's clearly nuts, is because we've sort of fallen as a culture into the idea that you can never tell anyone they're wrong. And at some point, we've got to have something like, no, this is true, this is not true. And things that aren't true are lies. And if it's a lie, then there's some responsibility for community leaders to call out lies.
Okay, how are we handling? Sorry, I'm looking at that in 9 minutes. How are we handling the interview? How are we handling the bullying? The bullying.
Well, bullying is part of the issue with talking about the classroom composition, because part of the problem is that there's been such a, you've probably seen this, I'm sure, with all the folks you talk to, that we're sort of in this weird position now where we tell kids that they're absolutely perfect. Each of them are perfect kids, can't do anything wrong, can't fail, everything's
but you can't touch them.
You can't touch them. But at the same time, they're not allowed to do anything. And they're totally cut off from in everything. All the kids are having to be guided by adults in every single activity. This fear of letting kids be free range and go roam around and hurt themselves and do stupid things, which is how you learn to be a human. They've had so many of those avenues cut off. And so everything is so regimented that you end up by having kids being, I think we've taken away a lot of the tools kids used to use just to fix problems amongst themselves.
Yeah, but if you had bullying, we had like the Beast and the wrestlers, the Beast, Leo Burt and all that, their nephews were in the hallway. But there was bully from 9 o'clock. Sorry, I remember I touched you too much. From 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's where the bullying was. Now it's 7 days a week. The little short was keeping kept his mouth shut or bang, like you said. This now, and the short fat one is very brave behind a monitor. In public, won't say a word. But how many suicides have we had? Do we know about bullying?
No, I mean, I can probably get you find out the numbers.
Must be terrible.
But the more, I think even more than, obviously something like anytime anything gets as bad as suicide, that's truly terrible. But the biggest thing we're seeing is just the massive increase in anxiety at all levels. So, it used to be that you'd have a few kids in the class who would have issues with anxiety and mental health problems. Now you're having the majority of kids in some classes reporting that they've got mental health issues.
Teachers are unsung heroes.
Yes.
Could you do it with your being a redhead?
I don't know. I thought about that. I mean, it's something which, look at what I do after politics.
La patience.
Mais c'est incroyable.
T'as la patience avec moi, conseiller pour 20 minutes.
I got lots of patience, but Lord, I think the part that would kill me with that job is the fact that there's so many cool things that teachers are doing in New Brunswick, and they're hiding them from the system because they think they're going to get in trouble for doing the right thing. And so a lot of what I'm trying to do as minister is saying, look, no, you tell me what you're doing and how we can do it in other schools, rather than you putting your effort into trying to hide the stuff you're doing. So ways of running classrooms and teaching subjects. There's lots of, to your point, lots of cool things happening.
Do we still have police in the high school?
No, they pulled them out in a lot of places. Like in Fredericton, they pulled them back because of lack of resources.
But why do we have cops in there anyway? Somebody said, I asked a cop one day, and he said, my God, if we didn't have somebody there, we'd be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
But me, what I was concerned of, there's a problem. Okay, Charles LeBlanc is out of control. Do they put it in a computer that once I graduate, they already know who I am?
They
You know what I mean?
Well, if anyone's under 18, they shouldn't, because they should have full legal protection with young offenders.
Yeah, but they know. They talk.
Oh yeah, well, but that's
You know,
yeah.
but
You're
what
not
are
gonna,
cops doing there in the first place?
well, but that gets back a little bit to the sort of treating kids like they're made of eggshells. That we've gotten to this sort of thing where we're so concerned about kids being kids that I think we spend way too much time trying to police small behavioral infractions rather than figuring out, are these kids generally happy and moving in the right direction? Because you and I went to school at different times, but there was a lot more crazy stuff that happened in the schools than is tolerated now. But overall, when those kids came out, they made the adults of today, and this is the least criminal time in the history of the planet. Here, I mean, we've noted the crime rates virtually zero. I mean, it's an incredibly safe time to be alive. It's not like the kids who went through that system in our age group went on to wreck the world. This has been it was a pretty good approach to let kids become independent, autonomous humans and citizens, and let them figure out how to make mistakes and screw up. And
Then the internet came.
and then you don't, and I think the internet happened to come at the same time as this sort of wave of overprotection happened with the kids, where we better have adults there all the time, we better have cops watching them, and it's
And if they have a record, they can get a job.
right, and which is another problem, right? I mean, look at all the people who have
I know.
convictions for marijuana possession and it's hurt them from getting employment.
Okay, now we got
Whole other subject.
We got 5 minutes left. Now, before somebody knocks the door, Minister, how's it feel to have people serving you, and then once you lose, they won't even acknowledge who the hell you are?
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Okay, Charlie, focus. Crystal meth. You know what that is?
Yep.
No, you know what that is. What's the biggest? Did you already try cocaine?
No.
Dog, is he bullshitting me? What's the biggest drug you tried?
I'm wired enough.
What's the biggest drug you tried? Don't look at me and say I had a joint of marijuana once in a while. Come on, talk to me.
Mushrooms when I was a
Mushroom,
kid.
good boy. I tried mushroom once, and oh my god. And it had the wall was turning. I tried cocaine once. I didn't know I had ADHD, and it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
nicest body stone I ever had. I loved it so much. I never touch it again because I'm Scottish. I'm too cheap to pay the high price anyway. But what I'm getting at is we were told the danger of smoking. Smoking was bad for you. Now, how as minister, how is the education telling our kids? Listen, maybe the snobs, crystal meth, the cocaine, the whatever. But do not touch crystal meth.
No, meth is. I mean, it's.
How young are we going to educate the kids? Are we going to wait till committee of a whole and discuss the issue for years, or what are we going to do here?
Well, I was just talking with it. I mean, this is outside of my department, but it's certainly in terms of
Which department?
Health. I mean, it's
Good plumbing, yeah.
But in terms of if anyone wants a clear example of how drug addiction is a mental health problem, look at meth. Like, at least as you said. Cocaine and some other drugs, you can understand why people might try and use them. It's not a good idea.
And you can go in
but-
addictions, boom.
Right. But meth, I don't think there are many people who wake up in the morning, use a line, I was just having a chat with someone else about this, that you don't wake up in the morning and go, what am I going to do today? Am I going to go and apply for a business degree? Or why don't I try a drug that's going to make my teeth fall out, my skin open up in sores, and literally eat my brain away so that I turn into a zombie?
Fried. And
No
there's
one-
no coming back.
No one is doing this because they think this is a smart life choice. They're doing it because they have got mental health issues. It's one of those. It's one of the only drugs
And they
where
can't
it's clear
afford the
connection.
cocaine.
Yep.
So they go with
And
anything.
they're trying to escape from either memories of being abused or having
Yeah.
had horrible things happen in their life.
And
or
the
whatever else.
bureaucrats forced them to take Ritalin when they were kids. That's where you guys were honored to meet me. I live in a tent in front of the legislature. There we
I
go.
never hear about that.
4 minutes.
Okay, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. I told you they were not minister. Anyway, sorry. But then they were told, I was saying, they're forcing kids to have Ritalin because it's cheaper to drug our kids in the classroom than to treat them with dignity. And that's what it was then. And I forecast we're prescription drugs, they're going to be hooked on prescription drugs, and we're going to have a major problem, just like this vape thing and smoking. So how are we going to handle this in New Brunswick and say to the kids, to educate the kids and say, hey man, this is cool, have us try this. And if they try it, it's a point of no return. They're not coming back. Cocaine, they can't. They can come back. Mushroom, they can't.
Oh, yeah, most of them, a lot of
become
them aren't
minister.
addictive, yeah.
Acid, you can't. But what are we going to do?
Well, yeah, like was Barack Obama admitted to having used cocaine a few times when he was younger. Well, I think part of it is through education, like you said, but it's also dealing with the reasons why anyone would think about using that drug in the first place. Right? Because
it's cool. It's cool. Crystal meth is cool.
But meth isn't cool. I mean, good God. I mean, anyone who knows anyone who's around the drug scene, you see the people on crystal meth who literally have got, you get 20-year-olds who look like they're 60.
Yeah, I know. But how are we going to educate our kids? We got 1 minute left.
Well, first you focus on actual education in classroom, but mainly you make it so people don't want to try it. I don't think people are trying again crystal meth because they think it's going to be a cool, fun thing that's going to make them popular.
How are we going to make sure?
They're doing it to knock out their brains.
Are we going to go in the classroom and tell everybody this is a big thing here?
But we're already doing that. That's not why people are using meth. That's not because of a lack of. We can certainly help on the information.
Self-education, mental
we can certainly work on that inside the department, like in terms of the school system was talking about drug education. But I think that the thing that's going to have the most positive effect on dealing with meth is dealing with the mental health crisis in the province. Because I think the reason, you know people who use crystal meth. People use crystal meth so they forget. Because we talk about it as why would you use this? It's going to blow your memory. It's going to blow your brain. Why would you possibly do this? The reason people do it is because that's what they want. They want to have it so that they can't remember.
So
they
if
want to have it so they can't think. That's actually the goal.
So you didn't rebut say never said too many bullshit. The dog never barked once.
Well, I think he's asleep.
That bored.
I passed him a pill.
If I have any other question, I'll see you in the barbershop.
I was going to say, yeah, you know where to find me.
Talk to you later. Go see your next meeting. You're late 30 seconds. And then if I want to see you, I'll just get you. No problem. Okay, so here we are. I see you later. Have fun. So anyway, went well. So then we turn around. So crystal, if you got crystal meth, if you got kids, educate them. Get out of here. So anyway, crystal meth. If you got kids, educate them on crystal meth. Tell them it is not good. Police, we got that. The kids, and it went good. If I got any other question, I'll ask you tomorrow. Thank you, Minister. Did you? What do you think? Not much. Okay.